Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Functional Spirituality. This is Ava, your host, and I'm joined again with Anaid. You may have listened to our past podcast, just our last one. If you haven't, I'd recommend to pause the episode and go back and listen to the first part of this series, where Anaid and I are sharing a little bit of the background behind our relationship, our work relationship together, as well as some of our self-care practices and how that all works for us, how we've been able to be consistent and how it's evolved. But this episode, we have something very, very special to share. For the past year, Anaid and I have been working on launching our new business. Things have taken a little bit longer. We've had a couple of things pop up in our lives, but it's been perfect timing, feeling really good about it. And now we have the pleasure of sharing with you our new business and our partnership. Do you want to share what it is, Anaid?
Yay. We're launching an online shop and a range of products for ritual and self-care. And we're very excited. It's called Lavandula Botanicals.
So you may be aware that Anaid is a herbalist, and Anaid has had a business in Mexico, so manufacturing, putting together these herbal recipes. And she one day, made a new spray. She made this new, what would you call it? A herbal, like a recipe or a formula. She
A
made this
formula.
formula that she kind of designed or formulated on Silent Retreat. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, this is like a Nate's product. And it was in our house. She gave it to us as a little gift. It was a spray, the heart spray. And I sprayed it in the house. I was like, oh wow, that's awesome. And then Jared got a hold of it and was obsessed with it, hid it in his work bag, and it was like his little deodorant spray. And then other people started smelling it, and everyone was obsessed with this spray. And I was like, this is what you do. This is what you've been creating. And Anaid had been wanting to bring the products over to Australia and spoke about it with her a couple of times and was like, yeah, I'll support you and you should do it. And, just kind of like being a little bit of a cheerleader. But then when I smelt this, I was like, Anaid, you and I are starting a business in Australia right now. I need this. I need this product. Everyone needs this in Australia. I want this associated with me and our retreats. And this is just so amazing. So that's like from my side why this was a no-brainer. And I'm super excited about the collaboration just from a kind of creativity and a fun. And yeah, it's an extension of my self-care practice to cultivate this brand and this partnership and everything about it. Yeah. So what about you, Anaid? Why was it important to be in a partnership for you?
Well, I started the business in Mexico in 2017. And yeah, it took about almost a year as well to launch it. Actually, no, it was nine months, just like a baby, having a baby. But I was working. I was very, very devoted into creating it. And it just was fantastic. I had the energy, I had the time, I had the space. I was seeing clients, patients as my other part-time job, which was going really well. But I am aware of the resources that we need in general to create a business, that it requires a lot of energy, time, other types of resources, not only financial resources. And doing it in Australia, when I moved to Australia, I left the business in Mexico. I have an amazing team of women that support me amazingly in Mexico. And I thought about bringing it to Australia, but my main obstacle was not having the time, the energy, and
the team as well to rely on.
Exactly, definitely. Not having a team, not having exactly that support. And at the same time, I was working, paying the bills. So I really didn't have that much space. And I've always thought, well, I'm from Mexico. My family's in Mexico. That business is in Mexico. I I travel to Mexico often. So I thought to myself, well, if I create a business here on my own, what's going to happen when I go to Mexico? So it was exactly right about what you said about not having the right team. For me, it was when we talked about it, for me, that was a no-brainer. I was like, yeah, definitely, yes. Because, yeah, I have enjoyed working with you over the last couple of years. We work very well together, very intuitively. We understand each other well. Yeah, so our values are aligned and I trust you. So
It's nice to be, it's just nice to see you in your expertise. Because for me, it's just like, I have my like certain values and intentions that this product and the other products and the business we want to create, that it fulfills for me. But then kind of seeing you in your expertise, your like passion for high quality herbs and the importance of sourcing right materials, it's just inspiring. And I love working with someone who is just an expert in what they do, because then I'm like, oh, sweet, I don't need to learn anything about this. You can make all the decisions. So tell us a little bit more about, what is herbolaria de alta calidad?
high quality herbalism. I believe that sourcing the right ingredients is key for having high quality products. And often in the aromatherapy industry, there's just so much competition. And I've observed that there are lots of providers. They get their oils from, I don't know, from not very reliable sources. But they may not be 100% essential oils. They may put extra fragrances and other things. So it is very important when it comes to quality to see the difference between an essential oil and a synthetic fragrance. If you're not very familiar, an essential oil is a distillation of the plant. It's 100% natural. A synthetic fragrance, it's something that comes from another substance that it is not coming from the plant. Obviously, that's cheaper. So a lot of candle products or room spray products, they are not actually essential oils. They have synthetic fragrances or other toxic substances. So what I try to do with this range of products is to just go as simple as possible, as natural as possible, and relying on the actual values and qualities of the plants and the essential oils. Another part of that quality of blends is knowing how to blend different aromas and knowing about the different aromatherapy notes, about how to use the plant, knowing why the plant is beneficial for you.
It makes sense hearing you explain it, because I mix a couple of essential oils together and I put it into like my body oil or whatever, or I'll like put it on my skin and be like, oh, those are all like smells that I like. But you can smell that your sprays, they're just on a totally different level, like they're incredible. They're so, so amazing. And it kind of makes sense, but now that you explained it, like there's different notes and you need to know how to blend them and like the different parts of the plant and things like that. It's like a professional product, it's not just like things that I think will smell nice. It's actually being formulated.
Well, having my background in Western herbal medicine, having a bachelor in health science, and understanding how the essential oils work in our system and the synergistic effect is a term that we use in herbalism to say pretty much that all the ingredients in a formula, they are all working together to have an effect in creating synergy, in potentiating their effect. Well, in my case, I come up with this, all right, well, I want a spray that can evoke these emotions or these benefit. And so then finding the group of plants that can work in synergy together to create that effect. And for me, that's my passion. I really love formulating, creating formulas, imagining the end goal, the effect, the benefit in the human being, and then finding the plants and then creating that. For me, it's my passion. So I think that comes from having that deep knowledge about the plants.
Yeah. They're just so good. They're just
Um,
so I mean, we spoke about in the last podcast about how, well, I was saying for me that one of my self-care practices is like those little moments in the day of sensuality, embodiment. Like, if the intention, one of my highest goals in my life is to feel grounded, back in my natural state, like embodied, satisfied, and, in pleasure, then taking little moments in the day where I can do all of those things, drop into my body, feel bliss, pleasure, feel grounded in my senses, feel alive, feel beauty, then, that's what I should be doing, and I should be clear about that and do that more. And my little lavandula sprays are just my ecstasy bottles, every time I spray them, it's like this full inoculation of this intention. It's like, this is what I want in my life. This is my birthday in a spray. It's like my best day, my best moment is to just, because they smell so good. They're just, anyone that sprays them is just like, whoa, like they're just so like complete. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing, and it
Yeah.
just so much, it makes so much sense when you said those notes, it's kind of like it has like a high, middle, bottom, like it's this full experience, like nothing, you just feel like present in that moment. And I like, I love talking them up, even when, I wasn't a part of the business, I was talking them up because they're just, I love telling people something's great that really is the best thing. Um, so for me, it's a no-brainer. And I know, like, when we've spoken, we're running the numbers and we're talking about the sourcing and stuff. It's amazing. Like I said, it's great that you're an expert in it. It's great that I don't have to think about having really high values. Like I know sustainability, not sourcing materials that are the product of exploitation. I wouldn't even think about that. I would just be thinking about ritual, the incredible formulas and the business side, but just to have you having that experience in the industry and like these really high values that I don't have to, because, with values, you need to actually have knowledge and like resources to uphold those values. But to have you coming in with all of that is so amazing.
Yeah, and it is a constant working process because when I started the business in 2017, I wasn't aware of many issues, ecological issues that the aromatherapy industries are, how they are impacting on the soil and on the planet. And even now, I'm still, yeah, in constant search for trustworthy providers and from good sources. Because at the end of the day, those big monopolies or giants of aromatherapy, well, I need to explain what happens. The thing is that an essential oil is pretty much a very, very concentrated form of the plant. So you need kilograms of the plant to distill a few drops of essential oil, a few milliliters of essential oil. So imagine the amount of land that you need to have to grow, yeah, so many hectares pretty much of that plant to have so many kilograms to create that many liters of essential oil. It's just not sustainable, to be honest. And of course, not all of our providers are like this is definitely one of my highest aims for the brand to be fully environmentally friendly and sustainable for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So, we're launching our business this week. We have an opportunity for you as listeners to sign up to the email list. We'll be sharing about our journey along the way as the business transforms and evolves. And we also have a launch special that we want to share with you. So just follow the link in the podcast in the show notes. And if you want to join the email list and receive that launch special, we would love for you to join, but also just to follow along the journey. So we have selected just a handful of products for our shop. The first one that we've been raving about is, of course, the aromatherapy sprays. So do you want to speak about what those are, Anaid?
Yes, we are having 3 aromatherapy sprays or brisas in Spanish. And the first one is the relax. So it has essential oils of lavender, sandalwood, neroli. That one is a fantastic spray for, yeah, just relaxing the nervous system, unwinding after a big day. It's interesting that, yeah, we have these three, and I have thought about the three-part method of functional spirituality because,
That's so
the
funny.
relax is that relaxing one, healing, deconditioning.
Yep.
Then the heart spray is about cultivating joy and love and all of those qualities of the heart.
Mm,
And then that third one is the peace.
my
And
favorite, of
uh,
course.
well, the aim is to connect you to that state of peace and stillness and being.
Mhm. Oh,
And
I love peace. Peace is my favorite. Now it makes sense. It's the awakening one.
makes sense.
So funny. Yeah, amazing. They're so good. If you would like to be a stockist, if you think that we align with your values, definitely reach out to us. We'd love for you to stock our products. We'll have a stockist list as well. So if you go to any of our stockists, because we'll also be supplying to wholesale, to other venues, yoga studios. So they should have testers as well, and you can have a smell of the sprays. Come to Spunda and have a smell of them. They're so good. And the next one is we just wanted to provide a list of other local products that we think contribute to this self-care ritualism, embedding the healing, harmonious, grounding elements of nature into everyday life. So, another one of our favorite mediums or materials is copal. So, this beautiful incense from Mexico that I fell in love with when I was in Mexico. So, white copal sticks we'll also have in the shop. And we've got a collaboration with one of Anaid's good friends, Naomi, who is a potter, and we've got her to design these really functional, super cute incense holders that hold our really big, heavy copal sticks. So they're gorgeous. We also will have a cacao brand, the same cacao brand that we sell at Spunda. It's like a shaved ceremonial cacao, like pre-shaved, so it makes it really easy to drink in the morning. And we're also going to stock our functional spirituality poetry book. So this is a book that we use in ritual and self-care and celebrations and retreats a lot. Super heavy handed on the poems on retreat. And this is a collection of poems from sages and spiritual teachers, but also a collection of poems written by students on silent retreat that are just so heart opening and so beautiful as well.
They're amazing.
Yeah. So I think we can leave that here for now. There's a lot going on this week for us as we launch. We're going to have a big giveaway of a lot of beautiful products in collaboration. So you can find us on social media. What are we? Lavandula Botanicals on Instagram. We'll link that also into the show notes. So you can find us on Instagram, join our big giveaway, which is free to join. And we're also going to have a launch event. And like I mentioned, specials in our emails. If you're interested in stalking us, get in touch. And of course, you can visit our online shop, learn more about the brand and our partnership and our vision, and buy something delicious for yourself. It's the most heavenly gift shop. So if you need a gift for yourself and others, of course, then check us out. And I'm sure we'll be back on the podcast again, Anaid, to talk about the business and all of the other amazing things. But is there anything else that you wanted to speak about to close?
May these products reach many, many homes, many hearts, and inspire. That's the vision and the mission of the brand, is to be the connection between the healing benefits of the plants and our daily spiritual and self-care practices. So,
Doesn't get better than that. And they are just beautiful, beautiful formulations, Anaid. So
yeah.
thanks for your gifts.
Thank you, Ava.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Definitely check out all of our links and we'll chat with you soon. Thank you for tuning in to the Functional Spirituality Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe by pressing the plus button on iTunes or the following button on Spotify. This is going to ensure that this resource is available and top of mind when you most need it. So please subscribe now.